Hey everybody, welcome into the latest edition of Gun on One. It is powered by the Inside the Birds Network and sponsored by my bookie. I'm Derrick Gunn. We all go through adversity in life. It's just a part of life. And it's how we handle things that make us a better people. And nobody understands that better than my guest tonight. He is one of my all-time favorite, not just Eagles of all time, but favorite people because the dude is always smiling. I've never seen him have a bad day. And he and I hit it off from day one, and we still have a friendship, a long-standing friendship. He is number 55 in your program, Brandon Graham. BG, how you doing, my man?
Man, I'm doing good, baby. Feeling good. Team is doing well. Just trying to keep building.
I know, man. I love seeing your smile. It like just brightens up a room. But, let's go back to the beginning because that wasn't always the case. I mean, you come in as this highly touted rookie back in 2010, and lo and behold, you suffer the misfortune of tearing your ACL. You missed the conclusion of that season. Then you missed most of 2011. And, people are already coming down on him. I mean, this guy's a 13th overall pick. What were the Eagles doing? They made a mistake. And I know you heard the noise. And you weren't used to criticism like that, were you, man? How deeply did it affect you?
I mean, I think it got me real good. It tested me. I say that for sure because I really didn't go through that type of adversity through my career other than, I missed a game one time because I was sick. It was an important game, and so my teammates thought I quit on them, but I really didn't. My mom and them wouldn't let me play in the playoff game. We ended up losing, but that people was mad at me for that because I still was at the game. That's the crazy part, but they wouldn't let me play. I shouldn't even been on the sideline if that was the case. You know what I'm saying? So, but it was all good. But other than that, man, yeah, it hit me deep. Definitely hit me deep because, it just really tested you to see like how you was gonna fight back. So that's really what how I kind of took it, later on. But at first it stung a little bit because it was so much coming at me at one time. On top of that, the team was bringing in new guys, and then I didn't understand the business side of it yet. But I think it was really more. Tough because I had to live through it and had to hear people when I'm out. It got way deep at first, but then the fight. As I started to fight, I started to feel better because I was able to go out there and defend myself with what I do on the field, and so I just think I didn't really have a starting chance though at first because everybody wanted Earl Thomas, and so I didn't know what was going on until I got hurt. Then them guys went to the Pro Bowl, him and Jason Pierre-Paul, and all that stuff was happening for him early on. The Seahawks ended up winning one. Giants won first with Pierre-Paul. He was a big part of that. So yeah, man, it was a lot stacked against me early because they was trying to replace Dawkins. I just didn't know the situation. I just knew I got drafted to Philly, was happy, showed my worth, and boy, when I got hurt, I heard it. That's when everything started coming.
Did you go into a shell early in your career that just shied away from people, staying home, just to avoid the verbal abuse, verbal potential confrontations out in public?
Oh yeah. I mean, at first, I didn't want to be out because it was just you didn't want to hear it, and I didn't know what I was gonna say if somebody was to say it in my face or do because I knew what I was saying on Twitter. But it was just it was something that I'm happy that I got out of it. But yeah, I was hiding at first.
Did it ever almost get physical in public with anybody?
No, I wouldn't say that. But if somebody struck a nerve, boy, I definitely at that time wasn't mature enough to where I could let it go. It would have had to be something smart I would have said, or man, you come try to do this thing then. You know what I'm saying? And tell me how easy you think it is since it's so easy for you to just say, I'm a bust. But what does that entail? Like, I done showed that I can play in this league, but I got hurt and I might have not had the success early. But hey, it's all good. They picked me, so it's over with. But yeah, man. I think I just wasn't mature at that time to be able to handle some of that, because boy, when they hit you where it hurt, and it's man, you don't know what you're gonna do. So I was just hoping that I was able to control myself, because I got more to lose than some of the people that was talking.
Who were your security blankets at that time? I'm assuming your wife, Carlin, but who was your like inner circle to pull you down off those ledges, man, when you were about to be like a volcanic eruption? Because whether it was fair or unfair, there was more negative criticism towards Brandon Graham than positive criticism.
Oh yeah, it was a collective of like my boy Danny. He was my financial advisor, at the time, and he used to talk positive into me. I mean, of course, I already talk about Jason Peters and them, especially in the building. My wife, I mean, she used to tell me the truth, the cold hard truth. Don't worry about them. Don't worry about this and that.
Mm-hmm.
But it definitely wasn't that easy, because every now and again I'm checking social media, knowing that I shouldn't, and then bam, here comes somebody with their words, and sometimes it strike a chord. Sometimes when I'm just in that mode of like I was good until I wasn't.
Man, hey man, you look on social media. You were like a samurai warrior, man. You were whacking people left and right on social media. I would have people say, "Hey, man, Brandon Graham blocked me, and I didn't even say anything, man." You were blocking
Hey,
people left and
anybody
right.
that liked something, all that, like I was blocking everybody. But I think that's where I was starting to mature, because instead of just saying something, I was blocking them. And so I
Yeah,
think that was nice, because I started thinking, I mean, I started feeling like people wasn't just sending me anything at that point because they knew they could be blocked, because words start traveling and people start, can you unblock my friend? They want to apologize and all this stuff. It's like, nah, I ain't unblocking nothing. But if it wasn't for one of the reporters to say, man, if we win it all, man, um, you know, can we have an unblock party? And I'm like, yeah, that's cool. And boy, when I made that play, I really felt like, okay, nah, I told them that I said that they was going to eat them words. And I feel like at that point, I accomplished that. And then all this stuff happened even after the fact. Like, my career just feel like I just got better over time and just kept getting better. So it was just, it just, I ain't even worried about it no more, because it's like, whatever, like, and it's cool, because if that's all you could say, hey, it's all good. And I think it's all good now. But at first, when I started blocking people, I think that was when I was starting to heal a little bit. I'm starting to be able to deal with it. Because, I mean, the hate always gonna arrive here and there. And, that's just people, because, everybody mad at something. But them the people that can't control it, so they gonna go come try to troll me on my page. So it's all good. But yeah, man, I think that was when I started blocking people. That's when I started being able to, not say nothing and
yeah.
just get it out of my life. Start getting it out of my life. And so but I still carry that to this day, as far as, when I'm out there playing, like I got that chip on my shoulder to let them boys know what's up. Even at 35, I'm still gonna be out there, doing my thing. Because people say, "Oh, Fletch and all the guys." I think John Ritchie said something like, "Howie's problem is he get too emotionally attached." But nah, I'm gonna show him I can still play.
Oh,
That's why he's still
oh,
here. Huh?
oh, oh. Richie went at you like that?
Well, he didn't go at. Well, he said it. He said it on air. He don't know. I mean, I'm just saying it now. But he motivated me even more. Just even for this year. So I appreciate all them words, because people got a job to do, and I understand that part too. But
Yeah.
I know that I got my people out there that don't believe, and it's all good, because I mean, you ain't got to believe in the dream, but just make sure you get out the way when the dreams start erupting. You know what I'm
Mm,
saying? Better get
mm.
with it.
Hey, look, in 2013, still young in your career, the Eagles switched you to linebacker. Now, you had played linebacker in high school. You played a little bit in college before you transitioned to defensive end at Michigan. Did that move to linebacker help or hurt you at that point in your career?
You know what? I think It was a little bit of both. I mean, it hurt me only because at the time I was like 280 something, and Chip Kelly
Yeah.
wanted me to be in the 60s. So that was the first strike for me with him. You know what I'm saying? And so I think it was tough to kind of get that up off me at first. But then, stuff started happening. He ended up keeping me after what's the name got hurt? What was his name? I ain't said his name in a minute. Dang, he was an outside linebacker. He tore his ACL. Um, like the last preseason game against he was from Washington State, outside linebacker, if you can remember.
Oh
Uh,
man, now my memory is blank. Now you
I
got me
know.
in there.
Dang, what's his name? I know I be following him still. We still talk here and there too. But either way, he
Yeah.
get hurt and I end up playing. I had a good year, 6.5 sacks. And coming off the bench, behind T. Cole and Connor, and having them guys too helped me. Having them guys helped me because T. Cole, he was in the same boat as me. We was 4-3 DNs, but we had to go out there and make it work, and we did. We made it work.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So Travis Long, that's his name. Travis Long.
Oh, okay.
Yep, Travis Long. That's who got hurt. But we was in competition during them times, and Howie wasn't nobody that could save me at the time because Mr. Lurie gave all the power to Chip.
Mm,
You know what I'm saying?
mm.
But it's all good. It worked out the way it was supposed to. I thought that just the way I handled it with just it could have went another way because it wasn't fun at that point. I was just doing my job, working hard, but I tried to, you try to be the bigger person, but sometimes it wasn't always that easy because
Yeah.
you knew you was better than some of the stuff you was pointing out, and then sometimes you'll look good, and then sometimes it's just like, dang, um, you know, this stuff is gonna take me a year to really get this thing right. And I'm just happy I had enough time. And then Doug ended up coming, and boy, that's when Schwartz. That's when I
Mm.
feel like my career took off even more because it was something that I was familiar with already that I seen at the Senior Bowl, and I was happy to get back to that because I felt like that's what got me over the edge to go first round.
So so after the 2014 season, Brandon Graham's free agent. He's listening to offers. And I remember you telling me, "Hey, D Gun, these Giants coming at me hard, man. I don't know. I don't know." And I'm thinking, at that point, BG's gone, and he can get away from all this negative noise in Philly, man. What in the world made you to come back? Money's one thing, but like you said, man, what people are saying stung. You aren't used to hearing that, man. People put you up on a pedestal in high school and college. What? Why in the world did you come back to subject yourself potentially to even more of this?
Well, a little bit of it is too. The Eagles was the only team that offered me security.
Okay.
Like as far as a multi-year deal, everybody else wanted me to prove it a year to see if I could be a starter all the way. Because when I got hurt, I was coming off the bench every since I got back, and at that time I was still coming off the bench, being a free agent, even though I had a bunch of potential. The way I was, still getting sacks and still balling, coming off the bench, everybody still wanted to see me like as a starter and see that if I could, hold my own and stay healthy for a year. And so they was giving me 1 year. So Giants was up there because they was the ones offering the most on the 1 year. But I went with the for sure the security. I didn't bet with my heart because I wanted to. I bet with my emotions because I wanted to because I wanted to play the Eagles. But I was like, you know what? We're gonna go with this because at least it give me the security I'm looking
Mhm.
for. It's still a lot. It's still a lot of money, and it's real money. And I'm not gonna even act like, I don't want to be here because this is the team that drafted me. They believed in me, and it just was. I'm just happy that I had sound counsel with my wife. Just to not make this emotional decision on like don't worry about them, just let's talk about is this going to help our family and what's all that stuff. So I'm happy that she talked some sense into me at the time and talked me now, and that's why I went back with the Eagles because they offered me the most security, one, and then it's just I feel like I had something to prove to let them know, especially coming back. Like, man, I ain't gonna be living through this. Like, you know what I'm saying? Even when I came back, people was mad, talking, making videos on YouTube, and and that same dude, man, it's sad to see him go out the way he did, because he out here bad, out here real bad. Like,
Hmm.
man, wouldn't want to be that guy right now. But at the end of
Who,
the day,
who are you talking about?
EDP,
Oh,
EDP,
okay.
you
Okay.
ever seen him?
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
you know what I'm talking about now. Like,
Yeah.
yeah, he done
Yeah.
got in trouble for some stuff. But I understand, the love, but he just at that time, boy, I swear, ooh, I wanted to see him. Because he kept on talking. But that was the young immature me. I send nothing but love and prayers to him, and all that stuff, because, everybody got stuff they dealing with, and you just never know. So that's why I just always, have empathy for, just everything, because you just never know, man, what people going through in life. And so,
Yeah. Yeah.
and why they do what they do. And all I can do is control me. And so that's what I be doing, man, controlling myself, trying to get this knowledge to these young boys, and try to let them boys know, man, y'all see this part of it, but y'all ain't see when I ain't want to be here, and still had to, put the smile on, talk
Hmm.
with the media, even the ones like Les and all them boys that was talking. Even D Gunn was talking. Yeah, yeah, uh-huh.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah, yeah. I know you don't know now.
Hey, let bygones be bygones.
Hey, it's all good. It's all love. I wouldn't be on here if I still held on to it.
I'm gonna ask you about that tenure under Chip Kelly, man. 2+ years under Chip Kelly. I can't I can't even begin to tell you how many players started grumbling to me about D Gun. This dude think we're in college, man. The way he's running this program, he got
Hmm.
rid of Deshaun Jackson, got rid of LaShawn McCoy. McCoy came out even said that Chip Kelly don't like black players. You know,
Hey,
it was
hey,
not a good time under Chip Kelly. How bad was it? Even though you guys put together back to back 10-6 seasons, and then the bottom fell out that third year. How bad was it under Chip Kelly, man?
I think it was just bad because he had all his boys working in there. Even if you didn't, qualify for certain stuff,
Yeah,
everybody's trying to become, like, live their dream through his job, and he was able to bring them in, because, the first year we go 10-6, we go to playoffs, everybody drinking that Kool-Aid, they almost gave up the house for Mariota, you know
yeah,
what I'm saying?
yeah,
And so it's like, it just, I'm glad everything or whatever happened during them times, that none of that went through, because we probably wouldn't even be talking about a championship right now. I mean, I know Howie was a wizard, and he put together that team after he came back, but boy, you see, when he got back in power, man, he let go of all these people, everybody. They already knew they weren't coming back. But I met some people, some cool people during them times. I mean, I ain't gonna say everybody wasn't qualified, but I just think that just the way everything was being handled, with even how Howie was not even a part of football operations and nothing like that, made him and Jake, had their own little room. It's like he just belittled, a lot of people in the building, especially people that started off, with us. Like Howie was my first GM, I was his first draft pick. And so it's just like, to see him had to go through that at the time, when I was mad, but I ain't want nobody to have to go through that. You know what I'm saying? It's like, dang. But I just knew that I was up against what I was up against, and I knew that Chip, man, he just had a bunch of people that was in office, that was his boys, that really did, that just was just trying to get their experience as one day at a time, just doing it. And so I think we it showed towards the end. And I don't think Mr. Lurie liked it after a while. That's why even after 10-6, he was gone. But I just think they was just done with it. And to be fair with Chip, we really didn't have the quarterback for the type of offense that he wanted to run. And
right.
so, I mean, Nick Foles did a great job. I mean, even Vic when he was in, but we couldn't stay healthy on top of that. And then, I mean, I learned a bunch of good, healthy things, especially with him, because he was all about, just making sure you take care of your body, and, knowing the recovery and all that stuff. I learned a lot with Chip. I ain't going to say that I didn't, but it's just, A little bit of it was just how you treat people in the building and all that stuff. And I think Mr. Lurie, after a while, just knew that that was a bad call. Not saying that it was, you know, it wasn't good in the beginning because we all drank that Kool-Aid that first year, but it just started getting bad when you start letting go some of the staple guys, that already, knew what it was like to be an Eagle and knew what the Eagles represented and represented them well.
Yeah.
Macklin and the guys, I know that he ended up going back to Coach Reed, but I know he really wanted to stay in Philly. And then, Deshaun had to deal with all that stuff. And then LaShawn McCoy, you get traded for Kiko. And it's like, dang, he going to treat me like this after all that, he done did in this city. You know what I'm saying? So it was tough to see all them boys had to go through that because even T. Cole could have still finished out his career here. He probably would have been a long tenor Eagle because he still was balling at that point.
Yeah.
During them times, if he could have made it through and got with Jim Schwartz, boy, that could have been a tag team duo too. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, man, everything worked out like it was supposed to. But yeah, them Chip Kelly days, it was tough. It was tough, especially after that second year. I mean, after
Mm.
that first year.
You are locked on to this edition of Gun on One. My special guest, number 55, Brandon Graham. Gun on One is powered by the Inside the Birds Network and sponsored by MyBookie. We're going to step aside for just a moment. We'll be right back. Hey, everybody, I have something you all want to hear about, so listen up closely. When your money's on the line, choose a trusted sports book that gives you tools to win like MyBookie. You see, in MyBookie, it doesn't matter if your team is up or your team is down. You can easily cash out or bet the game live to come out on the winning side. Use MyBookie for daily odds boost, same-game parlays, and take advantage of huge prize pool contests. Plus, MyBookie has a no-strings-attached cash bonus that lets you deposit and withdraw real quick. Just use the promo code GUNN. Remember, all caps GUNN, GUNN, on your first deposit and receive up to $200 cash money. That's promo code GUNN, GUNN, all caps, to claim your own cash bonus right now. Also, try the MyBookie money bag to grab a potential Super Bowl frontrunner at long shot odds. Plus 38,000 on the Eagles and the Chiefs. You will not find odds like that anywhere. Now remember, bet anything, anytime, anywhere, only with MyBookie. We are back with my man Brandon Graham, who has forgiven me for all my past transgressions towards him, and I appreciate that. Now, you mentioned something a little while ago about 2017 being your defining moment and truly being embraced in the city of Philadelphia. Was it that one play against Tom Brady in the Super Bowl that changed everything for you, or let me ask you like this. Did you start seeing a change in the fan base towards you before that even?
Oh yeah, especially that year. That year, really 2016, because we started off hot in the beginning. Played Cleveland the first game. RG3, he was there. We beat them. I mean, we started off hot, and even during that storm, everybody knew that it was something that was going on. Especially, just Jim Schwartz defense. That was the first year. I think we went. Where we go? 6-8. I mean, no,
10?
6-10 or something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, we didn't make the playoffs, um, but that next year we won it all, Super Bowl. You know what I'm saying? And it kind of caught us by storm. And boy, it was just during that whole year, it was like, man, I was playing, I was getting sacks, I was making big plays in critical moments. I felt it starting to turn. And then when I made that play and we won one, man, I think all was forgiven after that. And, I just been building off that every year after that. And finally to get to my double digit sacks last year in year 13, it's like, man, boy, I mean, who would have thought I play half the snaps that I played and I get 11 sacks, finally get double digits. But I thought after that Super Bowl, every year was getting better and better. And I just started to see just how people was treating me outside of that. And then, Earl Thomas and the guys ain't even in the league no more. You know what I'm saying right now? So it's
Mm.
like, it's just like, dang, I got everything on the back end. They got everything on the front end, when you think about it. And so I'm very thankful to still be in this position. I know them boys had a heck of a career too. I wouldn't change nothing because I learned a lot about myself going through that adversity. And then, yeah, it's just, I mean, man, I made it through. And so I'm just, if I don't play no more, I feel like, I'm cool with, well, whatever. Cause, I finally, made them eat them words. And then on
Hmm.
top of that, I forgave everybody, and we move forward, man. And I just just give all the love that I would have been given anyway, if I didn't go through this in the beginning, But I'm just, very thankful to have, fought through that. That's why I came back, and then to be able to still be here and sign again after that. I had to sign again because it was so good. It started getting good after that Super Bowl, and I'm like, man, I got to enjoy this.
Hey man, you had a couple of other teams interested in you in this past off season, and you come back for a low number that, by NFL standards, you could say is like pocket change. You know why? Why not say, you know what? I can make one more decent sum of money, bigger sum of money for 1 year. Why would you come back again?
Well, man, I know the grass ain't always green on the other side. And I know God, like who helped me a little bit with it. Schwartz, he had said something one day when I before I signed again that 3-year 40. He was like, look, I know, you're gonna be commanding, this and that this
Yeah.
off season, but I got guys like I think it was Eric Decker that went to the Jets or the Broncos. One, I forgot where he went. He came from the
Hmm.
Broncos, right? The receiver, and he was
Yep.
like, he had him, and he was like, man, he went out and got all the money he wanted, but he just wasn't happy where he was at because they was losing, doing all this stuff, and so I was like, man, if I can make it work in Philly, I'm gonna make it work. And I'm so happy I made it work because I mean, man, ain't nobody gonna treat you how your team that drafted you is
Yeah.
gonna treat. I mean, they gonna throw you away. I mean, you can make all this money with an organization, but they ain't draft you. You ain't gonna be you not an Eagle. You know what I'm saying? Like if they ain't draft you, you ain't in their eyes. You could be replaced
Mm.
because I mean, draft picks is gold. I mean, just now knowing what I know. But ain't nobody gonna take care of you like the people that drafted you. You be the first one to go, especially if you're making too much money, and they trying to get you out of there. So I'm very thankful. Of course, being in the community helps. Having a connection with the fans help because it's been hard for Howie to get rid of me anyway. Being good on the field and off the field. So it's like, I definitely, do stuff genuinely. But I know that if all this stuff didn't happen naturally, from me being genuine, boy, I would have probably been out of here a long time ago.
Hey man, look, you're 35 years old now. How much more you have left in the tank?
Man, I just had a great practice today, man. Man, I ain't gonna lie, it's been cool. I just embraced my role, man, just maximizing it, having fun, just happy to be able to still be able to still strap up, get ready, lace my
Yeah.
shoes up, come on out there, that tunnel, you know what I'm saying, and relieve highs and sweaty, and just make sure, I leave my mark by, with the work I put in every day, just on serving the guys and making sure I'm ready for whenever that moment come where, strip sack, here it come, you know what I'm saying? But man, I still feel good. I feel like I still got another year. And so that's my whole little thing now. I'm like, man, enjoy this role. Hopefully I can have this role again next year after we win it. You know what I'm saying? And then I can be like, Howie, come on, let's go run it back. You know what I'm saying? So it's
I hear
uh
you.
it's definitely a great moment right now for me, man. And I'm just trying to enjoy every day because we already in week 5 and it's like, dang, the time is flying. And so I only really got like 3 months left. You know what I'm saying? If we include really 4 months if we go all the way. So I'm like, man, I'm just trying to enjoy my last 4 months. If that's what it's gonna be. You know what I'm saying? So one day at a time.
Hey, look, in a perfect world, if your body held up and mentally you were still there, would you try to play until you were in your mid 40s like a Tom Brady?
If I play quarterback, yeah. I mean, cause it's but now doing what we do, man, I can see the aches and pains. Definitely. Like I played a lot this last game against Washington, and boy, I forgot what that soreness felt like because we really been getting away, not even getting away, but just not playing as many reps because we only played like 40 some snaps against Tampa Bay. We was
Right.
just getting off the field. We've been getting off the field, turnovers, all that stuff, and so our real test was last week against them boys. And people can say what they want. Y'all should have blew them out. Y'all should have did this. It's like, nah, that's why this league is how it is because ain't no blowouts. Sometimes you get blowouts, but ain't nobody paying for that. People want to pay for some good games to watch. And so that's just how this league been. Like you can't count nobody out. You can
Right.
get beat any given Sunday if you're not careful and not prepared. And sometimes, man, it's because of injuries. It's so much that goes into these games that's why they make so much money off these people betting because they know they just got it. They just know. I'm telling you, you think this team lost to this team last week. That don't mean nothing. This week is a different week. I feel a little different than I did last game. You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah, for
it's
real.
just yeah, some people dealing with injuries that, sometimes you might trigger it in the game, might knock out a quarterback. Now them boys lost the game because now they leader gone. You know what I'm saying? All kind of stuff happen in these games. So I just laugh when I hear people, man, y'all should have did this, man. You don't know. If you knew, you would have bet that money. You know what I'm saying? So let
Hmm.
me tell you, you ain't know either. That's why we had to make sure we was prepared. We came out, we fought hard. That's all I can ask for, because stuff ain't gonna always go like you wanted to or planned it. So you can miss me with all that, because it's we ain't cheating the game. The game we working, but the game got a funny way of humbling everybody, especially when they start to feel like, oh, we 4-0 and we unstoppable. It's like, no, we building this thing 1 week at a time, and we just know we gonna get everybody best shot. So be ready. And so that's how I take it. And that's what I've been pushing the message to the guys, like, just stay ready, man, because we can't worry about nothing that we can't control. People gonna talk, they gonna say what they gonna say, but when we holding that trophy, they can't say nothing after that. So let's go do that. Let's go finish
Preach,
that.
preach it, man. Hey, look, you're playing right now 32% of the snaps, which is 11% less than the amount of snaps you played a season ago. You okay with that, or do you wish you were out there
Yeah,
more?
yeah, yeah. It's a long season, man, and like I told you, we ain't really been on the field like that
Right?
because of the turnovers and the three and outs and just the rotation. Getting the guys, in rhythm first, and then we come in and relieve them and all that stuff. It's a method to it, man. But if my body feel good, like I told you, I
Yeah.
just wait, enjoy my role, maximize it, and when my name called, man, I just stay ready. Like I tell the young guys, like, yeah, you might not like where you at right now, but embrace your role. Whatever that role is, maximize it. And then sometimes, people like this week, Fletch ain't playing.
Yeah.
Tui ain't playing, so you got two new D tackles that's coming in that's probably been licking at the chops. You might get a DN or a D tackle come in like Tehran or somebody that's been balling, and now here go your opportunity, here go your moment. Make sure you seize it. And so I just say, man, I feel like I'm a good example of just going hard every day and not caring. Like, for me being a starter, to now coming off the bench, it's like, man, whatever my role is, man, that's what I'm doing. And so
Mhm.
that's where a lot of guys see me. And so I think they get with that program of, man, if he doing it, man, I gotta go out and show out. Cause shoot, I know he used to be a starter. Now he out here on coming off and he still look good. But at the end of the day, it's about the young guys. It's about bringing the new guys in and getting them ready for what's to come in, and to get them ready for their time when I'm gone. Keep them boys sharp, and give them all the game that I could give them to help them in their career on what they gonna learn, and then get some game from people and what they can apply that can apply to them because of who they are and what they do already. So yeah, man, I'm just enjoying it all, man, for real.
Hey man, speaking of the new young guys, have you ever lined up with a guy like Jalen Carter, man? This dude is like a heat-seeking missile every snap.
Oh yeah, that boy's serious now. So I'll be over here, man, just watching him, trying to just get him to, just keep being him. Go out here, man, and just enjoy being the guy. You know what I'm saying? Because
Yeah,
like that's what's up. This boy out here, he around for real, and I'm just trying to get him to, just stay mean with it. Just keep killing them. Know that these boys don't want to see you, man. I mean, you got a lot, that you should be, happy about, but you gotta make sure you keep that focus on work and making sure that you keep sharpening your sword, so that when you see people, man, let them know it ain't no games, man. Even in practice, you gotta show it in practice first in order for you to believe it in, that it's gonna happen in the game. And I'm real big on that, making sure that you doing exactly what you're doing in practice, and all that stuff will translate to the game. So yeah, I'm hyped for Big Boy. All the boys, Nolan too. Nolan, he been
yeah.
man. It's just so much that I just feel people show that they haven't even been able to scratch the surface yet, because Jalen Carter, man, that boy, whew, he missed a couple last week too. So it's once he start really putting it all together, man, Philly got something. Him and Jordan Davis, man, I'm happy. I'm proud of both of them for real. And Nolan.
Hey, you have been very honest about your shortcomings in the past. As you look back, anything in particular you have regrets about?
Hmm. You know what? Only thing I probably regretted was, responding to fans, especially, some of the stuff I had to delete later so that they wouldn't bring it up, catch me up on it. Just on like cussing people out, going back on them because somebody called me a B word, and boy, that just set me off. Cause now you disrespectful now, and I don't even know you. And boy, I had to go at him, and then all his buddies come out of nowhere. Yeah, we got him hot. He's tight and all that stuff. I gave it to him. I let him have it. Let him have a moment for a minute. You know what I'm saying? So if anything, I just regretted replying, because at the end of the day, when you think about it, and then some of the stuff that was said after the fact, it's like, man, I was just playing. Some people be like, man, I was just playing with you, man. You ain't had to go
Yeah,
like that. And
yeah,
it's like, man, you know what? Let me stop playing with these kids, man. Because you're right. You out here, you playing. You know what I'm saying? I'm all taking it too serious. So let me check myself. And so when I realize and start saying it like that, let me stop being a kid like these kids that's hitting me up. You know what I'm saying? I just started feeling a little better about it.
All right, I'm gonna put you on the spot for a minute. Which team is better? Last year's team or this year's team? Better and more talented. Last year, this year.
Well, last year was great, man. I mean, I'm some of the guys, you miss, like that boy Linval, man. Linval was my guy. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? We did a lot of stuff together. That boy, what's the name too, was my guy too.
And Dominican Sue?
Well, both, yeah. Don McKin, all the guys that he added, like
Yeah.
Quinn
Yeah.
and our family, we be hanging still. You know what I'm saying? So it's cool. That you get some brothers for real. Out of the deal. And I'm hoping to see how it work even this year. Because I feel like we still building. We still building like how we was last year. I mean, a lot of people assume because we get AJ, you get Devontae, you get these guys, you got this power offense.
Yeah.
But we had to go prove it. You know what I'm saying? We had to go prove it every week, and then we had to stay healthy at that. You know what I'm saying? So all that stuff kind of go into play. But I mean, so far, man, this team right here, we picked up where we left off. Other than, we still got to make sure that we keep, getting better, because of course we was a little rusty in the beginning, and I feel like now the offense is hitting it, and then us on defense. I mean, we still building. We gonna make mistakes, and it's not gonna be perfect. But I like our will when we got to stand up, like especially in these playoffs. I mean, in not the playoffs, in the overtime that we just had. I felt like
Yeah.
the defense came through, especially when they got the ball first, and then the offense did exactly what they supposed to do. And Jake put Jake in a position where he can, make a kick, and he went out there and make his kick. And so, yeah, man, it's just more about just I just love in moments so far. We've been rising up to the occasion. When we need a big stop, we've been doing that. So, just detailing our work and making sure we keeping that focus of whatever it is that we had that's got us to this point of, man, we can stop them when we need to, but we need to have that mentality the whole time. Not saying that we don't, but whatever kind of happens in that moment, boy, everybody for some reason just be clicking. You know what I'm
Mm,
saying? So I'm
mm.
hoping that just keep carrying us in a great way.
Hey, you mentioned a fan base a moment ago. Do you think this fan base has changed? And the reason I asked is that Trey Turner, the Phillies, struggling. All of a sudden, he comes back home off a rough road trip. He gets a standing ovation, and that just changed his season completely. And then you go to Alec Bohm. Alex Bohm gets caught on camera after making an error, saying under his breath, "I hate this bleeping place." Fans immediately forgive him after he apologized. They clap for him. Do you think the fan base is slowly changing in Philly, softening up a little bit?
I ain't gonna say they softening up, but they really they don't want to jump to conclusions early, because that kind of bite them in the end, and then somebody else goes somewhere else and go ball, and you be like, dang, we had them and we ran them out of here. You know what I'm saying? Like, I hate seeing Jimmy Butler on another team, because it's like, dang, we had him, and y'all egos couldn't get out the way. You know what I'm saying? Where this dude team or this dude team, it's like, at the end of the day, it's about, man, who gonna give us the best shot of winning? You know what I'm saying? And so, I mean, I know it's different. I wasn't there, but it's like, I think the fans definitely, not saying going soft, but just more open this
Okay.
time around.
Okay. So you look at how the Phillies connect with this fan base last year and this year. Is it similar to the connection that the Eagles have with the fan base, or is it two separate entities?
It's just two separate, because I mean, people got love for their Philly teams, but it's nothing like what I've been through with the Eagles. And I mean, I just haven't been through that baseball stuff either. But I just feel like people talk about us more than anything.
All right, I got just a couple questions left for you because I know you've been putting in a long day. You're giving me your time, and I appreciate it.
It'll be another year before I do it now, because
No, man,
you taking
wow,
forever.
you treat the guy like that. Wow. All right, look at the bigger picture here. Is Philadelphia a special place for you for any reason other than the obvious reason, a reason that you have not talked about? What makes Philly special to you, maybe for something that you've never talked about?
Well, I think it's special now because my family love it. My family love the school. It just makes it easy when your family love it. Because at first, Carla didn't love it at first because she was coming from Chicago, and
Yeah.
so I had to sell Philly. And after she really got to know people and started having friends, and just it just became home naturally. And I think it grew on us a lot more, especially with us winning too. That helped, but I think with the kids loving it, the school system is being good, is really good where we at, and just the people that I understand now. I didn't understand it at first, but now I do, and so that'll help me so much more, just on who Philly is as a people, as a whole, and how I fit in it. And so, man, it's right on, right spot on. I've learned a lot about myself during these times to know, like, I am that blue collar, work hard, chip on my shoulder, gonna fight for mine, gonna fight to the end. And I think I fit right in with what Philly is all about. And I mean, it was a kind of a no brainer after I realized, like, man, it's me.
Will you make Philly your home after your playing days are over?
Well, it's already home now. I mean, that's where I'm at now.
Okay.
We don't rent no more. That was the whole point. Because when you rent, you don't know how long you're gonna be renting this space, but you
Yeah.
just gonna make sure you got it while you renting here right now.
Brandon Graham, you are officially off the clock. I can't thank you enough for your openness and your candidness. And I thank you for your patience because I know I kept you longer than I told you I would. So I guess I can't come back to you for what? Like a year, you said? About a year?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, because it wasn't 30. It wasn't 30.
Hey, look, man, the
But you
conversation was
cool.
going so well. I couldn't stop, man. Give me a
Nah, it's
break.
cool. It's cool. I know
I
how
know.
it go.
I
Yeah, but it's
appreciate
all
you.
love though, man. Anytime.
Hey, don't forget when you're done playing, you and I got to talk about doing a show together.
Yeah. Oh, it's definitely we definitely gonna figure some things out. Because
All right.
it's a lot of good things going. It's a lot of stuff I want to say, but I can't say right now because
Yep.
it's brewing right now. But yeah.
All right.
Yep.
Hey, man, take care of yourself. Stay healthy. And hopefully you get another chance to hoist that trophy when it's all said and done in 2023.
Oh yeah, let's get it.
All right. For my man, Brandon Graham, I'm Derrick Gunn. Hey, thanks for watching this edition of Gun on One, powered by the Inside the Birds Network and sponsored by my bookie. For Brandon Graham, I'm Derrick Gunn. We'll talk to you next time.